Into the Light, Section 7, Chapter 26, Communication in the Kingdom. We're being given insight into what the day of the kingdom is going to be like, how the sons will function, and the different capacities that will come forth with sonship. 1 Corinthians 2, Eye has not seen, nor has ear heard, that which God has prepared for those who love him. What is that common trait within all of God's sons? What is the unspoken drive that propels the sons forward? It's our love for him. Paul said it perfectly, I would much rather go and be with the Lord, for it's far better. However, for your sakes I remain. Philippians 1. Paul had that intense love and desire to be with the Lord. We do as well, which is the driving force within us to complete what the Lord began. Our drive for the Lord is similar to that of Paul's. He would much rather have been with the Lord, yet he knew that he needed to complete what he was sent to do. As much as that drive is within each of the sons, so also is the awareness that they must complete the course and finish the race. The more you move out of the realm of the natural plane and into the realm of the Spirit, your anchor point will begin to shift. If you abide in the natural, then you are limited by time, space, and distance, not to mention other causalities. But when you move into the plane of spirit, and this becomes your basis point from which you function, then the principles of time and space are no longer valid, and they no longer pertain to you. With each passing day, the sons are finding that they're anchoring more and more into the realm of spirit than the natural. As such, they're no longer defined by the principles of the natural plane, but by the principles that govern the realm of spirit. Yes, there's a learning curve here, a big one. What is happening? You're beginning to enter into the lineage of the Melchizedek priesthood, who had neither a beginning nor an end. As much as this is to be the truth for all of God's sons, it hasn't yet been a realized truth because the sons are still in transition, out of the natural and into the spirit. We're going to talk about communication in the kingdom. As this transition steps up, we will find that we will become the greatest communicators ever known. And that was a word God gave many years ago concerning the sons that would come forth. What we're dealing with in the realm of communication goes far beyond the degree of understanding and insight that we presently have. We understand communication is more than just what vocally comes out of the mouth. True communication involves an exchange of energy. Communication deals with the realm of frequency, vibration, and energy. You can send an email and impart within that email the energy of what you are. Whether you have a bad attitude or a good attitude, it can easily be conveyed through email. You might think, well, how is that possible? It's because we're dealing with energy, bonds, and cords that are created in the realm of spirit. More and more you will enter into a plane where you will not need to communicate along the traditional lines that we've known. Within the realm of spirit, so much communication is conveyed just by transference, or better stated, projection. You can stand in front of someone in the spirit and just know. And it can be that clear. True communication in the spirit is not limited to our traditional concepts, which are very limiting because vocal words can be interpreted many ways. What we are as a people can be conveyed almost instantly. A word came many years ago that the sons would be able to convey to even the most limited mind who and what they are, not through words and concepts, but by spirit. And this is how Christ functioned, for someone could come into Christ's midst and he would instantly know, because it was a conveyance of spirit to spirit. As we progressively move further away from the dependence upon communication as we've known it, it will be replaced with a state of knowing. And the energy that you are and the energy that another is will just be conveyed, and communication will happen. The whole realm of communication is mystifying because communication is not the conveyance of thoughts and ideas as much as it is an impartation of who you are and who the other is. What happens when there's a transference of spirit? Well, you change, because as you receive, what shall we say, communication for lack of a better word, that communication changes you in that moment to some degree. Even though you may not be aware of it, within the scope of your consciousness, your spirit has received and retained something that will manifest to you more clearly down the road. As outside the box that this may sound, let me share something I saw a number of years ago, which is coming. Within this realm of communication, I saw that if you could harmonize with another's frequency, then you would be able to have an exchange of communication, regardless of world or dimension, or literally travel back through a portal and be right there with him, no matter where that world or dimension existed. In the past, we would minister to different ones as they would come up to the platform, and we would love them and tune into them as we looked for a word for God for them. In essence, we were harmonizing with their frequency, thus being able to reach their spirit. What we're talking about here is the same principle, only we've taken it just a bit further in what can be done as we tune in to each other. There is so much that God has prepared for the sons to walk in, and eye hasn't seen, nor has ear heard, nor has it entered our minds that which is God has prepared for us who love Him. Why? Because it's way outside the box. How can you imagine some of these things when you don't even know enough to imagine them in the first place? The day of release and the day of freedom is coming to the sons. It's quickly approaching, and with it, the whole realm of communication and travel and the ability to communicate and impart one to another. You will be able to create just by virtue of your essence, and you'll be able to literally travel in the Spirit. Truth be known, these capacities and anointings are already here. I know that we're dealing with fresh ground, but the point is, the sons will not be limited. All of creation seeks to have an exchange and a connection with the sons as they come forth. And more we will enter into levels of communication and impartation with the whole realm of spirit, which will be exciting. These changes and experiences will definitely redefine reality for us over and over again. Different ones are reaching out to the sons during this time to make a connection. And as we become more aware of them, we will be more and more empowered to tune in and follow their frequency or wavelength right back to them. And we'll be able to move from one plane of reality to another. When will these things come to pass? Well, actually, they're here now. And this is part of a whole new world that's opening up for the sons of God.